What's up, everybody, and welcome to another 30-minute Kin Stretch class brought to you by Stretch Effect. My name is Coach Luke, and I'll be taking you through today's shoulder adduction and abduction focused Kin Stretch class. So we look at our prerequisite motions of our shoulder, right? So if we want to have healthy shoulder flexion, extension, adduction, and abduction, we need to have healthy internal external rotation, which we've addressed in past classes. So today's focus is going to be what's called adduction, which is going towards the midline of my body, and then abduction or abduction, going away from the midline of the body. So there's a lot of different ways we can train from this, but since folks in today's class, we'll really be looking at what we can do with minimal equipment. So whether you just have a yoga mat and some blocks, you're definitely gonna need some blocks to work on the abduction position. So if you don't have blocks, you can use kind of like an elevated surface. You can stack books. You can go off the side of like your bed or off the side of your couch or a low table, something that allows you to get some what's called abduction as I lift away from the midline of my body, right? So to warm up with that, we're going to be looking at cars and our capsule cars that we've done just in past classes, and then we'll be going right into some pails and rows work. So to start, we're going to start with our neck cars because the neck and the shoulder are very intimately tied in. Obviously, they're very close together, but they actually influence each other's function. So we want to start with neck cars. So you can be in this collapsing position. If you want, if that's uncomfortable for the knees, uncomfortable for the hips, you can take a block. You can sit on a block there. If you want to stack two blocks, you can obviously do that as well. I want to make fist with my hands, right? So I'm trying to actively reach down or depress my shoulder blades into the floor. Because what you'll notice is that we go through our neck cars, you're going to want to shrug up. Okay, so we want to actively press down so we can mitigate the passive elevation of those shoulder blades, right? So from here, shoulders are locked in. You can think like I just always say, squeeze your armpits, right? So obviously nice and tight through the body there, just to make sure that my shoulders aren't doing what my neck should be doing, right? So with the chin of the chest, with 2 reps. Chin to the collarbone, here comes over the shoulder, chin to the sky. I'm gonna rotate, chin to opposite collarbone, drop the chin, come back through. Let's go one more rep, tension check as you pass through. Make sure your body stays tight, core is engaged. Ear over the opposite shoulder, drop my chin, rotate back through and reverse. Chin to the collarbone, ear over my left shoulder, rotate chin to sky, ear over the shoulder, drop my chin, and rotate through one more time, make it as fluid, as smooth as you can. Make sure we're never going into any pain or through any pain, right? So if you have that little crank in your neck that's a little painful, we call it closing angle pain. You just want to work nice and easily around that. Try not to go into it or through it. From there, we're going to go right into some scap cars, our shoulder blade cars, which are the arms straight out in front. I'm going to make a fist with my hands. I'm going to make sure my core stays tight, ribs stay down. I'm just going to protract my shoulder blades. I'm going to reach my hands forward. While I'm forward, I'm going to come up, squeeze the shoulder blades together, pull down, and round it out as I go forward again. I'm going to go from the side. You kind of see what I'm doing here. So from here, I'm just stacked, move her down, protracting, coming up. I want to make circular motions here. I don't want to hit like edges, right? I just want to round them out because my shoulder blades work in 360 degrees of motion here, right? So come back, reach back, press forward. One more time, coming up. Squeeze back, squeeze the shoulder blades, pull down. Let's reach forward again, and then let's reverse that. So to retract and pull my shoulder blades back and down. Keep squeezing them together as I come up, over the top. So 2 more there. So squeeze, up, over, down. Last one. Pull back, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Keep those elbows straight. Up and over, and down. Okay. From there, we're going to go into some shoulder cars. For our shoulder cars, I'm going to start. We'll be in the same knee that's elevated, right? So if my left knee's up, I'm going to start left hand. I'm going to go from here. So we're going to start our shoulder cars by that. It's called adduction, right? So I'm already in a little bit of adduction. That's coming towards the midline of the body. Okay, so that's something that we're going to train today. So we really kind of get aware of the position and what kind of how it feels as you come across. So to start, you want to put your grips down, tuck the tailbone, glutes are tight, Sorry, glutes are tight, core is tight, body's locked in. Get some space in your sleeve if you need to. I'm going to start what's called supinated position, so my palm is up. From there, I'm going to cross the midline, so it's called adduction. As I come up, I'm going to scrape the face with the bicep over the top. Trying to max out axial rotation as I come over, and as I come to the bottom, back my hand will be on my side because I've now maxed out this rotation as much as I can. From there, I'm going to reverse and go into extension. So make sure as I do so, arm stays close to the body, right? I don't want to come way out here. Come as close to the body as you can, straight up. And there, everything stays still. I'm now rotating over the top. Come across as I cross the body, cross my face. Come back to adduction. I'm adding it towards the midline of my body. And come down. Well, one more rep there. So you can use this hand in the rib cage as a reminder to stay tight. And then this hand on the side, just to create more body tension, whatever works best for you. I just want to make sure that everything stays still. Nothing is moving. So I'm trying to max out shoulder rotation here. Also maxing out rotation in the capsule. That is something that we will get into with some capsule cars here in a second. Okay, and reverse. Thumb comes high. Rotate over the top. Scrape the ear, scrape the face with the bicep. Adduction, come across, feel all this working, and come down. Let's go and switch. We'll go to the right side. So right knee is up, left knee's down. You can be straight ahead. If you want to open it up a little bit, that's totally okay. You can open up a little bit more because that allows us to start a little bit more neutral. Right here, we'll be starting a little bit more adducted. Either way, it's fine. Both are great. Okay, this hand can go here, this hand can go on the rib cage. You just want to remind yourself to stay tight. Tuck this left tailbone so we can stay nice and locked. Or left butt cheek. You got one tailbone, right? From here, I'm supinated, palms up. I'm going to adduct, so coming across. Scrape the eyebrow, scrape the ear with the bicep. From there, I'm fully flexed. Now I rotate. So I'm going to internally rotate. I got an X on this bicep here. I'm trying to rotate in as much as I can over the top. Keeping everything else still. Max out that rotation. While I come down, now let's go to extension. Thumb comes as high as I can go without anything else moving. From there, I will max out the rotation of the shoulder. Over the top, now I go back to adduction, crossing the midline and come through. From there, let's go back to the rib cage. Let's go one more rep. Adduction, over the top. Scrape the eyebrow, scrape the ear, max out the rotation of your bicep while you max out the rotation of your shoulder. Come down and reverse. Thumb comes high. Rotate over the top. Really just try to get bigger every single rep. Now I come back into adduction, elbow stays locked out. And through. Okay, from here, let's go to some capsule cars. So just like we were talking about with the shoulder, the full shoulder card, right? When we get here, this rotation is called an axial rotation, right? So even though it looks like just the hand is working, right? I don't want to just rotate my hand, right? I want this hand connected to the bicep. As I rotate, as the bicep rotates, that's actually the head of my humerus rotating in the capsule, right? So the better we can rotate within the capsule, the more rotation I can get with my shoulder cars, because that's where all the movement comes, right? So from here, you can sit on the feet, you can sit on a block. If you want to go up into tall kneeling, you can go up into tall kneeling as well. These are all great positions, all positions we want to train from, right? So ribs stay down, glutes are tight. I'm going to go 90-degree bend of the elbows here. I'm just going to start by internally rotating. So from there, I'm going to go from the side, so you can see. Make sure elbows are straight out from my side. Okay, from there, nice and straight. Straight out from the side, internal rotation. And as I rotate externally, I'm trying to take my fist back behind my body. Make sure as I do so, right, I'll go from the front. As I rotate, internally rotate, I want to make sure I don't go so far that now I shrug up or dump the shoulders forward. That's shoulder blades coming up and over. I want to make sure I just get a subtle tug down my shoulder blades to make sure I'm only rotating in the shoulder joint. From there, I will externally rotate again, squeeze back, fight for more. Always with the capsule cars, it's easy to work in this motion, right? So I want to work to the end of my active range, push into that, get comfortable there, get stronger there by holding for a second or two. So 3, and then rotate back. So I'm gonna rotate back, try to take my fists, my knuckles towards the wall behind me, without the rest of my body moving, right? So I'm gonna make sure that I'm staying in this neutral position. I'm not arching my back, dumping my ribs forward, right? So I'm trying to drive back, drive back, drive back, and come back to center. We will go out to 90 or 180 degrees, right? So I got a 90 degree bend here, right? So I'm just gonna rotate, internal rotation. So this is really where we're kind of talking about those shoulder bars, right? So I'm really just trying to rotate, not just my hands, trying to rotate my biceps, right? That'll mean my humerus is rotating. That'll mean I'm getting motion in that shoulder capsule. This is a great one to do first thing in the morning. It's a great one to do before and or after your shoulder cars. It's a great one to do before you go train. The more motion you can get in that shoulder capsule, within all of our joint capsules, the healthier they're going to be, the better they're going to function, the better you're going to feel. So last one, external rotation. Rotate, 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 and shake it out. Okay. So from here, you have a block or you have two blocks. You can go throw them behind you if you want to sit on them. You don't have to. You can sit on your feet. You can go into a half kneeling position or the same tall kneeling position. We're going to work on what's called adduction, tails and arrows, right? So as I come towards the midline of my body, that is my adduction position. I'm going to go into this classic shoulder stretch you may have seen before. So as I do so, I want to make sure I'm getting as much stretch on the posterior side of the shoulder as I can, right? So my elbow, this right side is being stretched. If you lock out, I want to make sure I'm not shrugging up into my body. So just take a big exhale and just relax. That's why I'm sitting on the block here, so I can really just focus as much as I can on that shoulder, right? So you can stand up tall mirror or even half kneeling if that you feel like you can get better leverage and better stretch there. But we just want to make sure that we're putting all the focus into this shoulder here. This elbow stays locked out, and I'm just using this left arm to pull across the body, getting a good stretch on that shoulder. Okay, so we go one round of these here. We're going to go a good long stretch in this position now. This is a stretch you have done before, tails and rails position, or kind of protocol execution. I'm sure not many people have done, and this is going to be quite a unique feeling. Okay, so just bear with me. We got one set today. Future classes we may add multiple rounds in, but we just want to get a good stretch here as I pull into more adduction. Okay, so this exercise, the tails and rails, you're going to get a good left bicep or left and right bicep pump, right, as we work the other side. Okay, so what I'm going to do, this arm is just going to really work to block this arm from rotating out in my pils contraction, right? So I'm getting a stretch here. Our pils, we're activating or we're using what was being stretched, right? So if I'm using these muscles, I'm going to use these muscles in the pils contraction to try to drive my arm out away from the midline of my body. That would be abduction, right? So from here, we'll won't go yet, so just keep stretching. We're going to build that contraction up for 10 seconds, and then we're going to hold the max contraction for another 10 seconds. Driving my right arm into my left arm doesn't let it move. My rails contraction, I'm going to be using all the stuff on the inside of my pec, inside of my arm here, to try to pull my right arm closer to the midline of the body, right? So you're going to feel everything on the inside of that shoulder really lighten up here when you do your rails contraction. You may feel like that pec for the cramp. That is totally okay. That is normal. You're not dehydrated. You may be dehydrated, I don't know, but I'm sure when that contraction happens, when you feel that kind of crampy feeling, that just means that your inner pec, your pec minor, really inside of that shoulder is not used to functioning from such a short position at that high level, right? Because with our rails, we just want to go right into a max contraction there, trying to pull that arm closer to the body, really getting a good contraction here, trying to keep this right arm, the working arm, locked out as possible. Your body's going to want to bend the elbow to get more, really try to stay straight and pull and squeeze from that pec minor, okay? So pull that shut for about 2 minutes. You can make this, you can open whatever is best for you. Take a breath in, brace that core, and then slowly start driving right arm into left arm. Build that contraction up. So you should feel all this stuff working as I'm trying to drive my right arm out in my left arm. Left arm's getting a good bicep pump as I'm trying to hold that contraction in. Keep going, keep going, keep building, keep building. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rails. Pull that right arm away from that left arm. Keep that left arm there. Just keep trying to pull your right arm away from it towards the midline of your body. Feel that pec working. Go for another 10. 9, keep the right elbow locked out. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. And immediately you feel like you can get a little bit more abduction and slowly come out of that. You may feel a little left bicep fatigue there. You may feel some unique feeling in that right pec minor. But like I said, it's not used to functioning from such a short position that whenever we use muscles or use the areas of our body we're not used to or ranges we're not used to, your body goes into what we call neurological confusion, right? It's not used to being there. It's not used to functioning at such a high level at that range, so the brain goes, oh, and it wants to cramp up that muscle because it's uncomfortable, right? So the more you do it, the more comfortable you get there, the better you're going to get, the less it's going to cramp, the more comfortable that position will get. Okay, so from here, we're going to switch sides, okay? So let's go. Left arm straight, right arm comes across. You can go from the elbow, you can go from more forearm, whatever's most comfortable for you. Make sure we're not shredding that too high, right? So you can drop down just a little bit, feel all that stretch, posterior shoulder capsule. Lock in that core. And we're just going to hang out here and breathe. Okay, so from here, I'll just plan a Pill Drills protocol again. Like I said, we're just going to do 1 round a day, because it's quite a new, unique feeling. Tails, I'm driving left arm into right arm. Right? So driving this hand into this hand, try to drive out of that position, out of that stretch, right? So we're going to build it up for 10, so start at 1%, or start at 10% for the first second, 20% for the second. Not just going 10, 20, right? You want to imagine you're going up 10, 11, 12, progressively all the way up to 100% when I hit 10 seconds. You want to hold that 100% for another 10 seconds, okay? That's how we're strengthening what's being stretched, right? We're adding strength at length, right? From there, I'm going to rails contraction. So this left arm is going to try to pull off my right arm. It probably won't get off the right arm because we're at your end range, right? So that's okay. That's what we're after. But it's all about contracting inner pec stuff to try to pull left arm more towards the midline of the body, adding more abduction range of motion. Okay, so from here, take a breath in, lock down that core, and then slowly start driving the left arm into right arm, driving out of that position. Feel everything that's being stretched, being contracted here. We're going to keep building it up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Max effort hold 10, 9, 8. Right arm's blocking it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rails. Pull that left arm away from the right arm towards the midline of the body. Keep the elbow locked out. Feel that pec firing up. Inner pec working. Keep going. Keep pulling. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. And just like that. Body gets a little bit deeper into that stretch. Feel that left arm working. Make sure everything stays nice and still. Feel that stretch. Take one more big. And come out of that there, right? Like I said, left pec maybe a little stiff, a little tight after that one. And then right bicep maybe feeling a little bit something as you really kind of really hold that in there. So just like we said, I mean, it's a good abduction, adduction exercise, but also it doesn't want a little bicep, right? So from there, we're going to go into what's called abduction, so taking away from the midline. So if this was adduction, you may seem like a pec machine at the gym. That's adduction. Abduction is when I'm going away from that position. Okay, so what we're going to do for this one, we're going to lay on the floor. So we're going to take these 2 blocks. We're going to use them to set your arms on. If you don't have 2 blocks, I would go, pause the video, go find some thick books. Like I said at the beginning of class, you can use like a table off the side of your table. You have to be in kind of a kneeling position, something that allows you to get in this position here. So we're going to be laying on our stomach for this one. So if you have a table, if you have like a couch, if you have like the side of your bed, you can definitely kind of go up in this position here. And if you're really mobile, you can kind of go up there. We just want to make sure that we can lay with our arms down, right? So we have our fist supported and our elbow supported as I'm in this abduction position. Okay, so I'll explain it from here. So what you're going to do, you're going to be laying here. You can lay forehead on the arm, or you can go all the way down to space in the floor. Okay, so I want to make sure even though I'm laying down, right? Tuck that tailbone, brace that core, keep everything locked in, engaged. You can squeeze a towel or you can squeeze a pillow between your legs, squeeze the legs together. Make sure that as I'm lifting into what's called abduction, right? So lifting here, I'm not using the whole body to lift, okay? So from there, we'll set up in that position. It's not a true stretch per se, right? If you are stretching, you can pause the video, you can hold the chair for about 2 minutes. And then we're gonna go what's more called isometric, right? With the initial isometric. As I'm pressing down with not just my fist, not just elbow, pressing both down together. I'm trying to crush these blocks into the floor. So I'm actually using the abduction contraction, right? And from there, we're gonna build that for 10, hold that contraction for 10, and then from there, I will lift off, not just hand, not just elbow, but hand and elbow to lift as high as I can, really using all the muscles on the backside of my shoulder from there. So I'm just trying to drive higher in the sky. Again, not by lifting my spine, but staying tight and really working to lift, trying to lift the ceiling with a straight arm. Okay? So from here, get set up. Again, we'll just do one round here, and then we'll finish with more with capsule cars and shoulder cars. Okay? From there, you can go forehead on forearm, or you can go facing the floor, or if you have a towel, get a pillow, you can use that as well. I'm gonna go from here. I'm gonna stay up so you can kind of do the tucking. From there, you can go face down, squeeze your legs together, tuck that tailbone and brace, and then slowly start driving forearm and wrist and elbow into the block. So we're driving down, build that contraction up for 10, 9, get more, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, body tight, 2, 1, max effort, hold, 10, 9, 8, 7, squeeze, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rails, pull away, everything's level. I'm trying to drive my hand up into the sky, hand, forearm, elbow, driving more, backside of the shoulders on fire, let's go, 10, 9, body stays tight, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, back down. Okay, from there, we're going to do what's called an abduction press. Okay, from here, we're just doing the same thing, not doing the pails and rails. We're just going to go up into the abduction as high as I can, fight to get higher. As I press, back down to 90, and touch down. We're doing 5 reps there, and then we'll switch sides. Okay, so face down, tuck the tailbone, squeeze your legs together, body's tight, and we'll lift. Stay high as I press. Come back down and touch down. That's 1. Lift, press, back down, 2. Lift as high as we can go every single time. As I press, I'm trying to fight to stay high, scrape the ceiling with the arm. Back down, 3, 2 more. Lift, press, stay high with that arm. Forward, last one here, stay tight with that core, go arms back, tuck that tailbone, lift, press, down, and set down. Very nice, and 2 sides. On the right, then we go to the left. And there, we'll work. Elevate, same position. You may find left and right sides a little bit different. You should find the position that's best for you. Fist, elbow, elevated. I will be down on my forearm or straight to the floor. The lower your head goes, right, the lower everything else goes, and then the more elevated position your shoulder will be, right? So from here, I will set up my position. I'm going to tuck my tailbone, stay nice and tight. And we're going to start driving down, hand and forearm into those blocks. Okay, so start pressing down, building that contraction up for the first 10 seconds. We're at 2. You get more, 3. You get more, 4. 5. Keep going. 6. Feel that pec working. 7. 8. 9. And max hold for 10. 9. 8. Keep crushing as hard as you can. Everything got 1 set here. Keep going. 5. 4. 3. 2, 1, and rails, pull, keep driving, up, backside of the shoulders on fire here, Forearm, hand, elbow, everything's locked in. Same level. Keep driving, keep driving, keep driving. 5, 4, 3, you're shaking. 2, 1, and come back down. Very good. Okay, let's do 5 abduction press. Starts at 90. Tuck the tailbone, body's tight, ribs are down. We're gonna lift, press, back down, try to fight to get higher every time. 1, lift, press, back down, and 2. Tension check, tuck the tailbone, ribs down, abduction, lift, press, down, 3, 2 more here. Fight it, fight it, fight it. Try to get higher, higher, higher. Stay high as we press. Backside of the shoulder working. Down, last one here. Lift. Press. Back down and set down. Very good. Okay, from here we will just finish with some capsule cars. Same position that we started in, and then we'll finish with some shoulder cars, and we're done. So let's go, like I said, collapse kneeling, you can sit on your feet, you can sit on a block, you can do tall kneeling. Let's go back to, let's go 3 capsule cars here. Just ribs down, core is engaged. Internal rotation, external rotation. It's one pushing those boundaries, right? Fight for more at each end position, right? Drive, 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 drive. Back into external. One more. Straight out from my sides. External rotation. Fight it. Push, push, push. Without dropping down. Let's go straight out to straight arms. Internal. Staying motion at the shoulder. Different position at the elbow. External. Internal. External, last one. Internal rotation, dumping out that water jug. Last one. Open, 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 open. And relax. Okay, so you can stay in the same position for the shoulder cars. We can go up into half kneeling like we started, or we can stay in tall kneeling. From there, I'm gonna go to tall kneeling. If you have a block, you can squeeze the block this way, you can squeeze the block to the side. That just kind of helps give us more tension through the hips, through the lower body. Squeeze the glutes forward, squeeze the block in. Ribs are down. Let's go 2 full shoulder cars each side, and we're done. So let's start on the right side. Left arm comes to the rib cage, stays down. I'm gonna externally rotate as much as I can. Supinated position as my palm comes up. This is that adduction, right? This is that stretch. You feel like we should got a little bit more there. You may feel that pec a little bit as well. Over the top. Come over. Down. Tension check. Ribs down. Glutes tight. Core tight, over the top, abduction, reach across, feel all that stuff that we've worked on, down, one more, over, big rotation there, everything else is still, reverse, extension, external rotation, adduction, here we go, reach, 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 feel that pec contraction, and down, let's go 2 on the other side, here we go, external rotation, ribs down, adduction, right, feel that stuff that we just stretched out, feel like you got a little bit more, as I come over and around, backside of my hand touches, reverse, come over, reach across, feel that pec contraction that we worked on there, and down, last one, ribs down, best one yet, biggest possible circle, over the top, everything stays still, torso is locked in, glutes are tight, hips are tight, squeeze that block, last one, tension check, squeeze in, best one yet, you can go hands at your side, over the top, ribs are down, scrape that eyebrow, reach across, feel that pec working, and down. Very nice. Thank you for joining me in today's 30-minute adduction and abduction focused shoulder class. I hope the shoulders are feeling good. Continue to work on those shoulder cars, scap cars. You can do some hills and rails in this position here. Whenever you feel like you need a little bit more stretch in the shoulder, just make sure that you're kind of following the same kind of protocol. Definitely don't go right into them. Warm up with some cars, some capsule cars. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us anytime. And thank you for joining me again, and I'll see you at the next class.